according to this study, about half of plant and animal species in the world's most naturally rich areas, such as the Amazon or the Galapagos, could face local extinction by the turn of the century. This is probably one of the most alarming studies on wildlife ever published, and an important wake-up call about global warming. Professor Rachel Warren from the East Anglia University, you are one of the authors of this report. Hello, and thank you very much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure.
I would like to ask you first exactly how many species could we lose and which ones?
When we looked at those 80,000 species, we looked at them only in the global biodiversity-rich areas. One example is African wild dogs. Another example is a marine turtle. But there are only some examples of many species that would be affected. But the real power of our study is looking at the number of species that we looked at being 80,000. It means that our results are very robust.
Now we're talking about local extinction in specific places, the ones you call priority places. But can we also talk about a worldwide extinction concerning some plants or some animals or both, and which ones?
We did not go on and say that how many species would go extinct, but what we can say is that the more of a species range is lost, the more likely it is to go extinct.
You actually advocate reducing global warming targets from 2 degrees centigrade above pre-industrial levels, which is the Paris target, to 1.5 degrees. Now I'm going to ask you, is this realistic, and do you think it would be effective?
This paper only quantifies the benefits of reducing warming from 4.5 degrees, which is what would happen if the world acted as if the Paris Agreement didn't exist, to 2 degrees, which is what would happen if countries were to do a lot more work than they have currently agreed to do. If we can limit warming to 2 degrees, we will avoid half of the impacts that would otherwise occur, half of these increased risks to biodiversity. Obviously, it follows that if we could reduce global temperatures below 2 degrees, we would expect even more of these risks to be avoided, but we did not look at that in this particular study.
Professor, thank you very much. You are one of the authors of a joint study done by the WWF, World Wildlife Fund, the East Anglia University in Britain, and the James Cook University in Australia. Again, thank you very much, Professor Warren.
Thank you. Thank you.